Duschinsky, why does the world need a conversation farm?
Why does the world need the conversation farm?
Yeah.
The world needs to change conversations. And what do I mean by that? We have an opportunity today to change the way that people think and the way that they behave. That's always been the case. Yeah? In order to achieve change, you need to change behaviors. To change behaviors, you need to change mindsets and attitudes. Now, what happens before we change the way we think? We have to hear something.
Yeah.
We have to hear, we have to be involved in a conversation. The precursor to action is conversation. I mean, we don't often turn up at home with tickets to go on holiday that we present to our family without having talked to them about where we're going. Sometimes we might surprise them, but often we talk about things and then we do them. That's how human beings work. What we have the ability to do today is to understand that we can tap into a global conversation.
Yeah.
In the past, a conversation was between one person, 2 people, 10 people. Today I can have a conversation with 1 million people. And what that means is that we can help influence the conversation, to help influence attitude change, mindset change, and then behavioral change to achieve some of the things that are important in the world.
And there are a lot of stuff that at the moment are really important in this world.
That's right. The Conversation Farm works both with companies, charities and governments. So we will work on big social issues, but we'll also work on brands. If a brand has a particular opportunity or an issue, or just simply needs more people. If a brand wants to attract more people, if it wants to attract different groups of people, it's going to have to change the way that they think about that brand.
Right.
So you need to change the conversation about the brand.
You just said something really, I will pull some quotes, because your lecture was like, I would say, like a waterfall of inspiration and stories and people, and to me it resonated deeply. You really inspired me as an individual, and I thought all the hundreds of people in the room would agree on that point. So you said that conversations should be about outcomes and how the world will look with that outcome in place, and that connects with emotions.
That's right. That's right. We don't get emotional about a process. We don't get emotional about an institution. We don't get emotional even about companies. We get emotional about things that connect with our emotions. Things that we can feel, things that we can imagine. It's very difficult to imagine a process.
Yeah.
It's very easy to imagine a world that looks different. It's very easy to imagine an outcome. It's very easy to imagine what space looks like when you see Chris Hadfield playing
the
Space Oddity in the space station. He helps you make it real. He connects it with you.
With your emotions.
That's right.
And you then moved from like how does things function, why does stories resonate, and you came into like social change, and you came into the thing that we are reaching a tipping point, and that was really interesting to say we're moving to a for-profit economy, for-profit financial companies, to a digit for-profit corporation that really has to be human, social, and environmental to actually create financial results. Could you elaborate a bit on that?
Absolutely. We've lived for 100 years or so with financial being the prime driver, and what that has created is a world where we feel a certain dissonance. It doesn't feel right that companies are out there pillaging and exploiting and destroying the environment to make money. We know that doesn't feel right. But until now, we've not had a mechanism to be able to express that. Today, we have the mechanism, and the mechanism is the fact that we have social media and digital tools that give us transparency. We're watching you. Everybody is watching everybody else. Yeah?
That erodes authority.
And that, what it does is it creates what Adam Smith called the invisible hand. And the invisible hand sits over all of us and pushes us towards doing things that are for the greater good, rather than for individual good. Because why? because I want to be liked. You want to be liked, and we're going to be liked as well. We're going to be more liked if we do things that are better for a larger number of people, rather than if I just do something that's good for me.
Yes, that's interesting, because you tie that into how should that kind of company operate, and there were some key or core principles, and you said that one is a shared belief system, has to be authentic, and it has to be transparent. And then you said something that really, it was fun but really deep, and it struck me that every decision you have made, you should be able to defend to yourself, your boss, but most important, to your mother.
That's right. To your boss, your mother, sorry, your boss, your journalist, and then your mother.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's right. So the idea of can you defend it to your boss is, can you make it make sense in the context of the business? Can you defend it to a journalist? Does it make sense according to the principles by which we live society? Can you justify it to your mother? Is this the right thing to do? Is this the thing that is going to be better for all of us? Or is this just something that's going to be better for you and other people are going to suffer as a result?
It's simple, but it works.
Yes, it does.
Jon, I know you're busy. You're on a flight to MIT. You have to catch that flight. Thank you so much for your time.
You're very welcome.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.